Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to That Infernal Noise podcast, part of the Mental Health News Radio Network. Fuck yeah. Hello, everyone. We're back. We are trying to be more consistent. We're trying to go every week and not leave you guys hanging for almost a month at a time. But luckily, no major events have been happening. So we are making time to make content and to be here now that, things have kind of calmed down and life isn't lifing so hard. So how have you been?
Been making it, I guess. I don't know. It hasn't been as bad lately.
That's good. I mean, the whole reason we started That Infernal Noise podcast, I realized I didn't say it at the beginning, and I haven't been. And
I mean, you really don't have to.
I mean, I guess. But just in case anybody's
it's
new.
Realistically, a preference thing. Yeah, but if they click on it, the title, I'm very consistent in the titling and all that stuff.
You're factual.
So.
True. But anyway, life has not been lifing as hard, which is great. How have you been dealing with everything that's been kind of coming in? I mean, since everything has calmed down, readjusting to just like a normal routine.
I mean, it seems pretty nominal, I guess. It's just like everything's getting kind of back to that homeostasis point.
Which is nice.
Where it's just kind of like, instead of just treading along, it seems normal now, and there's not any chaos.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. I mean, obviously it's a plus, but it's odd now.
You've said that I thrived in chaos for a long time, and I'm the exact opposite now. Like, if it's chaotic, I want no part of it. But it has been nice to get back in. You see, people that were raised like us, especially people with a lot of chaos and being bored is not okay. Not doing something is not okay. And being on this side of being okay with just sitting.
I don't know what bored feels like anymore. You know what I mean? Even when we're doing nothing, it doesn't feel boring.
No.
It feels
restful.
Like we're recharging kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we finally learned that at almost 40 and 40 is pretty goddamn ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of my upbringing was performance-based. My mother was very dichotic in nature. Because on one hand, I was a godsend, and I was her best friend, her confidant. I was a lot of things I should not have been to that woman. Okay, first and foremost. And then it's she would say that she liked having, it was weird. She liked having me. And she would say things like she was proud of me, but then in the fourth grade, I had a meltdown because I didn't make an A. I didn't make all A's. I made one B, and I was terrified. I spent my whole upbringing and...
We talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah. I was just full of fear. And in order to get those non-fearful moments, I think I was being productive to not be full of fear. I would make sure, and
it goes into the whole idle hands kind of thing.
Yeah. If I had time to be doing something, I should have been doing something. To not give her a reason to be upset.
And now we do that, but it's because we want to do it. It's I fill my time with things that I enjoy, i.e. this, or trying to figure out the fucking algorithms and shit like that. I don't know why that gets me off, but it does. Or all the research I've been doing and the reading and all that shit. And I was like, I want to do that stuff. I'm not forced to do it anymore. I'm choosing to do it, and it feels restful instead of that chaotic, I have to be doing something thing.
My thing is I still struggle with tasks, like necessary tasks. Like, I know
shit you don't want to do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all it boils down to.
It's
shit you don't want to do.
Well, I struggle with sitting and resting while there
things are tasks still needing to be done.
Yes, because I should be doing that and to accomplish those things instead of taking the rest that I need, or if I just don't feel like doing it right now, that's okay. And I'm still dealing with that, which is stressful.
And luckily, even at my worst, I was never one to, what the fuck isn't this shit done?
Yeah, you've always been like, if it bothers me that much, I'll get off my ass and do it myself.
And I'm not saying that this is what the situation was, but fucking Friday, like, I made sure the laundry was getting cycled through and all that shit.
Because you know that stresses me
out.
Yeah,
it's one less thing you have to worry about. And it's easier that way.
Now all I have to do is go and fold everything and put it away.
And some of it's not even our shit. It's the kids' towels and
and they can fold those. Yeah. But you're helping out in the normal tasks in that you're not doing it to make me feel like I should have been doing it, because you're a capable adult who can do their laundry. So it was, I started, not Friday, but in the past, if you get up and start doing something, I feel
you have to,
there's an anxiety and there's an obligation, because I know that growing up, if someone else was cleaning, I had to get up and I had to start doing something. Oof.
So, I mean, we've kind of been like that with the kids, but it's more of, hey, we're setting this aside this time so we can clean.
Yeah.
So I need you to get your shit done and clean.
But we'll ask them to do that. We won't.
It's not exactly asking. We're telling them to do it.
Okay, well, yeah, fair. It's, hey, this is the time we're going to be cleaning in the house. We need to get our cleaning done in this time. But
we also don't make them clean the entire fucking house.
And also,
they're responsible for their room,
bathroom, and their stuff. But like, if I get up and start cleaning, if I get up and start doing dishes, our kids do not feel like they have to come and clean something with me or clean their room, or just because I'm cleaning or doing something that they're not. It doesn't create a panic in them that they have to start doing something.
Doesn't create a panic in me either. It's just like, I'll ask you, like, once I get done with work, I try to be pretty good. Like, do you need anything? Do you need my help with anything before I sit down and start relaxing?
Yeah.
I try to. I don't do it every day, but.
Hey, we're human. That's fine. I don't want to do shit some days. I don't want to do shit most days. Let's be real. So I'm glad that you're. Excuse me. I'm glad that you feel like we're back into a...
It's just easier to function that way.
It really is. And
because then I'm not bogged down and I feel like I can help.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion.
And it feels like... Because I'm weird. I love and need routine, but I also fucking hate it. Routine.
Because it's too rigid. Mm-hmm. You want... to be more free-spirited.
I want to be rebellious and do whatever the fuck I want.
I guess. There's no other way to put it, but that's essentially what it is.
It's fuck you, I don't want to do the dishes. Fuck you, I don't want to
But it's today. Because you had to whenever you were a kid.
Yeah.
If I was betting.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had to make a lot of decisions so much now. And I've done some... Actually, this week, I was doing some research. And... like, what was it? Decision exhaustion. And I may be messing up that term, but it's like your brain becomes so overwhelmed with all of the tasks that you have to make decisions for, because my brain works weird. For some people, going and getting in the shower is just getting up, going and getting in the shower. Yeah. That is not it for me. And so every task is a bunch of decisions. And each thing is a task. Getting up is the task. Turning on the water is the task. Getting undressed is the task. Feeling uncomfortable on that wait between the shower, before you get in the shower, and when you're standing there naked waiting to get in the shower. Washing my hair is like, okay, now I gotta wash my hair. Okay, now I gotta wash my body. Okay, now I gotta shave my legs. Okay, now I gotta shave my armpits. Okay, now. So each thing is a thing, and it's exhausting. And that's why it's like, when it comes, that's when I feel or sound like sometimes exacerbated when it's, well, what do you want to do for dinner? I don't care. I really don't.
I've gotten over getting irritated by that, because I'm starting to like understand why you say that.
Because it's like, I still have to cook or go get or whatever it is. So I don't care what it is. That part isn't a thing to me. It's like, okay, well, I just need to know what it is. And I am trying to get more better. Ew.
I wasn't going to say, I was going to let it slide. But
hopefully you caught the whole interaction on my face.
I saw the whole thing play out.
I'm trying to get better about listening to my body and be like, okay, well, I can give you things that I don't want to eat. At least to try to help, because I know it can be frustrating of, I don't care, whatever you want. I understand that that's frustrating and can be frustrating, but I'm trying to, at least, because I have such a difficult relationship with food too, especially right now where it's like nothing sounds good. Whatever.
Well, see, that's how you procrastinate. I mean, it's a form of procrastination.
No, I'm confused as to what part you're talking about.
All of what you just said. It's like a procrastination thing, sort of. Because you'd rather just put it off and do nothing. You see what I'm saying?
I'd rather it be done.
Well, that too. But that's why I say it's a form of procrastination.
It's executive dysfunction. I know the things to do, and I can't.
Mine's different in, I'll get the shit done, and then I'll stay up at night. And that's a thing too. It's revenge bedtime procrastination. Yep. And I've done it my entire life. Like, that's the time whenever I'm sitting in bed doing nothing, that's, I guess, my authentic self.
Yeah, that's it. And you feel, no, I don't fucking want to go to sleep because I have to be responsible and I have to do all the bullshit again tomorrow.
I just want to sit here and watch TV and do nothing.
I want to scroll. I want to doom scroll. Yeah. I want to laugh at these fucking funny creators that I follow. Mm-hmm. And I follow a lot of funny fucking creators, or insightful creators, or, I want to watch that shit. I want to read. And not in the self-help arena, which I love. I do love self-help. And
but you've also been really big on fantasy.
I love
fantasy or like Stephen Thriller shit.
And that's been I've always loved that. And it's like, I do that in parts too, but mine is mostly
during the day.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'll get it done. Fuck. Yeah. I don't want to. And then by the time it's bedtime, I'm like, bedtime?
Yeah, you don't have a problem falling asleep anymore.
Not anymore. My life has changed so much because I used to be let's stay up till 3 a.m. and not be on anything or anything like that.
I was fucked up in some form or fashion.
Yeah,
and then it just carried over once I got sober, where I still liked staying up, and now I'm just like, fuck that. Like, we stayed up until 1 last night.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm okay.
And we still got up, like, reasonable time. Like, we were awake by 8.
Yeah, I was awake. First time I woke up, it was like 6:45 or 6:50.
I think I woke up, like, right before 5, and then I went, right back to sleep.
And then, so it is nice to be back to a pretty decent flow of regular life. And of course, we get into like the normal flow of things mid-December, not December, October. We're in October.
Yeah.
I'll make it. I will get through this, I promise. we're just now getting back the past week or two, so mid-October, and then
the holidays come up.
Holidays are knocking at our door, and it's time to, put on our fancy seasonal dress up anxiety and depression. And it sucks because
I feel like mine's actually better than it has been, but I've spent so much of this year already like that. I don't know that it's gonna, I'm sure once it gets closer to December, it's gonna affect me a little bit more, but right now I'm pretty chilling, luckily, which is good because I could tell you're going into it.
Yeah, my seasonal depression started fucking early this year. Early, which I'm not thrilled about. I noticed it, I guess I really noticed it like yesterday.
It was probably like Wednesday or Thursday.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
And it's Saturday as we're recording this.
Yeah. So just a couple days ago. Yeah. It hasn't been like, I haven't been sitting in this or anything like that. I'm trying to be better at bringing it up when I need things. And that's still a task for me.
Like this morning.
Yeah. Asking for anything. Like it's just a task because it's scary for me. But again, the more I do it, the more comfortable I'll be with it. But
you just get used to it. It's rewiring your brain in that aspect.
And I'm gonna have to do something different for the holidays this year. This year is, let's see, our 5th year without Jody. And I realized this morning that that's, because we were talking about it, that's why I'm not into Halloween anymore. After he passed, it's really hard to get excited about Halloween.
Because he was the one that got excited about it. And we always took the kids to the trunk or treat up at their church.
Yeah.
And he would stop whatever the fuck he was doing to make sure he walked his grandbabies around and show them off. And
so even after he passed, we did take the kids. I mean, outside of COVID, the 2020.
The COVID year sucked.
Yeah. Outside of COVID, even after he passed, we would take the kids up to Mom's church and, let them do the trunk or treat, and they would still dress up. And even though we don't attend church, we would still take them. And, it's a safe way to keep an eye on the kids.
Plus, they essentially grew up with all those people because of Mom and Jody.
Yeah, they always took them to events at the church anyway.
Yeah.
So they knew our kids and stuff like that. And now, this year, we definitely won't be doing it because Mom's not even here. And
that sucks. There's no other way to put it.
It's
hard.
It's hard. And I feel terrible because I feel like we should still be doing something for our kids. Like Logan, it's his first year in middle school, so they don't do a trunk or treat at the middle school. They stopped doing trunk or treats or stop doing stuff like that for middle school kids and high school kids, which I think is stupid.
I agree with that.
I think they should do something, or maybe we should start finding like fall festivals or something that we can do with our kids because...
But also, Halloween's in the middle of the fucking week this year.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It does make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Excuse me, hold on. I thought I just had like a tear in there, and I feel like Smith. It's ropey.
Completely different thing.
Yeah, not tears. But yeah, I had that realization of why I don't even want to do Halloween. We last year we really got into Dia de los Muertos, and we did our first ofrenda last year, which is I'm excited to do that. Excited is a strong word.
You're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to that.
And this year, we're not even going to do it like the traditional way. We're going to do it our way.
Yeah, we're going to do it our way.
Which we should have done last year. But
we're doing a little more traditional, a little more,
But I don't care about traditional. I want to do it the way that I want to do it. Because...
And we can make it our tradition. And, yeah, you know, this is Logan did ask about costumes, and I was just like, I don't know, buddy, we're not really doing anything. He was like, oh, okay. He seemed kind of bummed, but not.
He doesn't really. I don't think he really gives a shit anyway.
I think he does to a point. I think he just wants to dress up because he likes to dress in costumes and
he likes to be fancy.
Yeah. You know, this is we're talking about a kid that for his 10th birthday, he wanted a his top hat is like a velvet.
Fake velvet.
Fake velvet. He wanted a top hat.
Maroon.
A maroon top hat and a maroon tuxedo shirt. So he cares about like dressing up and like being made to look like something else. But I agree, because he doesn't eat candy. He doesn't like to get scared. He's not like...
He fucking hates getting scared.
You know, so I think it's just the costume. So I think I just might start buying him costumes. And just be like, here, buddy. Because that's what he likes.
Well, I mean, you remember whenever he was younger, whenever he'd get a Halloween costume, he'd be wearing that motherfucker off and on that whole next year.
Well, our kids really didn't play dress up. Our girls didn't even really play dress up a whole lot. So.
Not really.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there. He can. I don't know. That's something to look into. But, like, Noe didn't really seem like they wanted to do anything costume-wise.
Yesterday they turned 14, too, so that probably has something to do with it. They're a little too cool for school type thing.
I don't think so, because they still want to cosplay.
But they don't see that that's the same thing.
Maybe not.
Like Halloween's like baby shit. Like that. I don't know. That's just the vibe I got. I could be way off base.
I still think that he likes Halloween. It's just...
I don't think they give a shit because their birthday's so close to Halloween. So
Agreed.
No, he's been more worried about birthday.
Which is totally okay.
No, and they had a great day yesterday. Yeah. It was just, you could see... Whenever they came home, the big smile.
You didn't see because they ate it in the car without asking. He was like, I have a plate. Anyway, one of their friends baked them a little like strawberry cake. It was the cutest thing.
That's cute.
And he gave Logan a bite and some of his friends and stuff like that. So it was just like, oh. And, you know. So, Halloween I don't feel so bad for. I guess this year.
Well, we got 2 kids with birthdays around Halloween too, yeah. So it's just like we're more concerned with that, regardless.
That and like I said, the schools aren't doing anything. We aren't a part of like a group or anything that does anything for Halloween, and maybe we can look into that next year. But
this year, with how hectic everything's been, we didn't even think about it until now.
Yeah, and then. I mean, we could still do something, but why? It's, Next month's going to be rough for me. My favorite holiday has always been Thanksgiving, and outside of COVID, because obviously COVID fucked everyone over. No, I think we still had one COVID.
We did. we shouldn't have, but we did. I mean, everybody was fine. No, nobody got sick.
And the restrictions were up. Like, yes, they were. And we didn't have more than 30 people or whatever the fucking thing
No, it was more than 10. We definitely had more than fucking 10.
Yeah, like 20, 25.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't 30. Well, no shit, it wasn't 30, but the fucking limit was 10.
Oh, I thought by then they had raised it. Mm-mm. I don't remember.
That's why I was all fucking paranoid and, like, keeping a look. I'm like, I hope nobody fucking says anything. Like, I don't know what they would have done. Call the cops and be like, oh, there's more than 10 people. Well, if you call the cops over here, then there's even more. So, anyway.
That was pointless. Yeah. This is the first year I don't want to do anything. Last year we had, a family little get-together. The year before that we did a small thing. And then, no, we tried to have a big one, didn't we? Not last year, but the year before. The year after my surgery.
That was the last big one. That wasn't here.
Okay, so the year of my surgery was the last one then.
The last big one.
And that was not here.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 small ones. I don't want to do anything. That hurts my heart because that was my holiday. And I know it may sound selfish to other people, but that was the one. That and my birthday are the 2 holidays that I'm like, I want it done. I would like for it to be not a big to do, but I wanted everyone to come together and have fun. And this was my chosen family, and unfortunately all
has changed.
All of it has changed. And I'm still working through that, and which is life happens, and I'm trying not to take everything personally. I'm trying to realize that it's a spiritual thing. It's not personal, it's spiritual. I'm at a different place in my soul than someone else is in their soul. And our souls don't match anymore, and that's okay.
Doesn't make it hurt any less.
No, it doesn't. Because there are still phone calls that I'm still waiting for. There are still things that I wish I could say out loud, and I can't. So this year, it would literally just be me and you, the 2 kids we have living at home, and then if our older 2 got a chance to come over, it would just be the 6 of us. Well, 7 of us. Because of Patty. And that's if they didn't have to work. And this is nothing against my family. I love my family. I would die for my family. I don't think it's worth doing all my stuff for the 4 of us. A guaranteed 4 of us. Because most of what I make, you and Logan don't eat. And we used to do a big thing where our chosen family, that was like our big time. So we'd do Secret Santas, and we would do games, and we would do beer pong championships. Even though you and I stopped drinking towards the end, we would still play and defend our titles.
I mean, it didn't matter. We won drunk or sober, so it really wasn't an issue.
I mean, we aren't 4-time champs for nothing, okay? We weren't 3-peaters for nothing, okay? Just throwing that right on out there. But all of it has fallen apart, and that's okay. It's okay. Life happens. People change. People grow apart. People choose to focus their energy somewhere else. And that's okay. Because I'm choosing to not focus my energy in places that I used to. In actions. Being around certain type of people. Like, it's okay that some people are choosing to do that. And I don't want it to sound like it's okay for them to do that and I'm going to do I'm doing something different, and that's okay. And they're doing what they're doing, and that's okay. But like you said, it doesn't make it hurt any less because I don't have relatives. So that was my family holiday. And now I don't have that family anymore. That extended family. And I'm kind of lost this year without it. Because I don't know what to do. I thought about still doing one anyway and doing more, because it's always been a potluck thing. We would I would go through great lengths months before. I would have, let's see, it's October. I would have started in July, end of July, early August. Or mid-August. I would have started creating the page. Hey, let's start figuring out who's doing what, who's going to do meet, who's going to be doing this, who's going to be doing that. Late August, maybe early September, I would have started doing that. It would have been set in stone. Everything would have been done and prepared. I mean, like, all plans would have been finalized by now. In previous years.
By Halloween, yeah. So essentially.
Yeah. Way before Halloween. It would be done. I would have had a page made. I would have done I would have done it already. I would have been asking if there's anybody else who needs help with anything. If there's anybody else any ideas, any games that anybody wants, it would have been done already. It's rough. Just realizing that the family that I thought I had, I didn't. And that's okay. The chosen family I thought I had, I didn't. I don't. And that's okay. So I thought about maybe still doing it and just making it like a public thing. And like, hey, if you want to stop by, let me know if you're going to stop by. For people who don't have relatives, don't want to talk to their relatives, whatever the case is. But then, even then, it's like, I don't really talk to a lot of people, so who all would even respond? Who all would even... And then I feel that if I even did that, it would get my hopes up too high for something that I want from the past. And I feel that it would be more detrimental to my mental health to get my hopes up about something that isn't going to happen. So I think this year is going to be the first year I don't do anything. I don't want to cook anything. I don't want to bake anything. And I love baking. And if your family does stuff, if your family does something and they want me to make something, of course, I'm going to make something. Whatever they want me to make. But outside of that, I think if we get invited to something, that's something different, but I don't think we will be. And we're just gonna have just like a regular dinner on Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna be okay with that. Or I'm gonna have to be. And that just may have to be the new normal. And I may need to find something else to do on Thanksgiving. See if there's a place to serve Thanksgiving meals that's around here or close. I mean, we're not far from Dallas, so it's not like it's impossible to find something. But I think I need to change how I look at it. And I need to change how I look at all of the holiday activities going forward. Halloween's not as important. Like, once we don't have kids in the house, it won't be important again until we have, like, grandkids.
Well, it is to me, but it's important to me for different reasons. Like spiritually and whatnot. You know, like I don't associate like the trick-or-treating candy costume bullshit. Like that's not what it is for me. It's a spiritual thing.
And that's fair. And maybe I need to switch my focus onto my spiritual side of it, because I am, looking into different things that are unconventional or unconventional.
It's not unconventional. It was around long before.
Fair.
I'm just saying.
Fair and valid.
It's actually getting in touch with who we really are, or were, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, however you want to look at it.
Like, we're both Mexican. Like, that's weird to say, by the way. Sorry. I don't think I've ever said that out loud.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a whole thing about my identity crisis, by the way.
But we're both Mexican, and that's what, like, we were both so removed from our heritage and our culture for different reasons, but ultimately,
I was lied to for 35.
And mine is just, that's not the way my immediate family was.
Yeah, they're more...
we're whitewashed. There's no other way to say it. That's the nicest way I can say it, like the whole 9 yards. And every single member of my family, blood related to me, would agree with me.
That's fair.
We're whitewashed.
That's fair.
And it's just now that I, as an adult, am seeking this stuff out on my own.
Yeah.
Because I've always had like this weird connection to it. I don't know how to explain it. It's always been there. I've always had a certain pride about it.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. If nobody else is going to teach me, I'll learn it myself.
That's fair. That's very fair. So maybe we'll figure out something to do. And we'll do it every year. And we'll start making our own.
Well, I have been.
Well, I know you have.
For the most part. Like, off and on. There were a couple of years that I would just get the seasonal depression bullshit and not want to fucking do anything. Yeah. But I try to do something on Halloween every year.
Yeah.
Like a meditation, just giving it back to the universe kind of thing. I don't know. Okay,
well, maybe there's something that you and I can do. Because eventually, the next 8 years are going to fly by. And I know they are.
If the past 13 are any fucking indication.
Yeah. Hell, it's already October and it feels like this year just started. So
I'm glad it's not January of this year anymore.
That's very fair, actually. But maybe we're going to have to start doing stuff for just me and you for certain things, because I hate to say it, but you're stuck with me, because I'll armbar you.
I'm not going anywhere.
Goddamn right you're not.
If I have a choice.
Yeah. And I do know that, life is life, so time is finite. And then, literally right after Thanksgiving we're going to get hit again. Not only with another holiday at the end of December, but we get back-to-back death anniversaries. 2 days apart. And then with all that, and parts of some of the reason why I'm upset about Thanksgiving is why I'm upset about Christmas. I think we've done a pretty good job with our kids in making it very evident that, Christmas isn't about gifts.
We've always done that, though. Yeah. That's not a recent thing.
Yeah, no.
That's what I was saying. It's not that we don't get them gifts. It's just we don't put the emphasis on that. We put it on the time with family and being thankful and grateful for what we do have.
Yes.
There was even a couple of years that I can't remember if it was a couple of years. Well, regardless, we did the angel tree or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And everybody was on board with, like, even the kids were on board with that, and they were younger, and that made me feel really good.
Yeah. So I think we have done a good job at making it.
They're not materialistic.
Well, Logan is, but he's 11.
He's 11. But overall, he's not at the same time. He would rather do stuff for other people than himself.
That's fair. If it came down to it, he would pick helping someone else. Mm-hmm. You're right. But, obviously we're still going to do something with our kids. And again, if we go to your family's get together, cool. If we don't,
I haven't even heard anything about it, so who knows if that'll even be a thing this year.
The only thing that I can think of that we may do differently or may add or whatever is time with Sis and Aaron and their kids. Because the energy and time that they have put into us, the way that they're there for us, has been amazing. I love them so much. And Aaron's mom, Julie, I fucking love her. So maybe we can come up with something else to do for our holidays that are different, that can not only start our own traditions, but start to heal us for those seasonal wounds. Because this first one's going to be rough. I know it is. And I'm not looking forward to it at all. Not only on a personal level, because I don't want to feel that pain. More than mine, way more so than mine, I do not want to have to see you, Sis, and the kids deal with that pain. You and Sis more so than the kids, because the kids are upset and they're sad, and I'm not saying that they're not. I just know that it's
a different beast.
I don't want to say it's less. It's just different. I know that they're going to handle it differently, but I know that for you too, it's going to be. And I don't want to see you guys hurt.
Well, that was the last holiday we got with Mom too.
Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And all of us were there. Every single one of us. You, me, Sis, Aaron,
Patty. Patty was even there.
Patty was there. Chris had his friends there. Like, it was one of those perfect storm kind of situations. And that was the last holiday we got to celebrate.
Yeah.
And even then, it didn't feel right because we had just lost Grandma the December before. Yeah. And we were coming up on the anniversary of that. So it still had this thing in the air.
Still heavy.
But we at least got to enjoy that aspect of it. And then, obviously, what happened. So, yeah.
I don't know what our future of holidays looks like. I know that there's going to be sadness. I know that there's going to be tears. Well, for me. I know that there's...
I've been crying fucking off and on for 2 years, dude.
That's fair.
I don't hold it back anymore. If it comes, it comes. And, I've cried happy tears, too, recently. And I didn't think that was going to fucking happen. Just sitting down thinking about things and, the different times I've written things in my journal to Mom directly. Yeah. It really... There's a catharsis to it.
Oh. My hair is doing its own thing. Sorry. Yeah.
And I'm not worried about it anymore. I know it's going to suck. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot more anxiety leading up to the anniversaries. But what am I going to do about it? You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
I'm not a fucking necromancer. And even if I was, Mom's fucking Ash. So, you know what I mean? It's just... I can't do anything about it anymore. And I'm starting to realize that. I've spent my life trying to control everything. And the one thing that I didn't want to happen to anybody is what I've been kicked in the dick with. It's death.
And that's the one thing everyone's going to do.
You can't control it.
Yeah.
You cannot control it. You can't control it. There, even if you get time like we did with Grandma, there's no preparing for it. Not legitimately.
Not for that phone call.
And you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, you saw me the 6 months leading up to it. Every time it was Mom or Grandpa calling, I immediately started panicking.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck.
Your face would drop.
And I felt bad for Mom because she, like, internalized that.
Yeah, it wasn't
But she also understood why I had that feeling. And it wasn't a dread of her calling. It was a, fuck, what is this call?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's going to be difficult. And I already had seasonal depression before all this shit fucking started.
Yeah.
You know, I always got down in the dumps because the holidays were coming up.
And that's why I did my Thanksgiving so big. It was to battle all that. It was to have so much fun. And
we did for a while.
We did. I will always love those memories. And it hurts that I won't have them anymore. And maybe we'll do something like that again, but it won't be with the same people. It won't be the same vibe.
Maybe we'll end up doing it with the kids. Like, once they get older, we'll have the fucking Pong tournament with them. Because Chris and Kaylee got into it whenever they were younger. They didn't drink, obviously, but...
No, they did not.
They were fucking into it.
Yeah, they were.
And Noe and Logan wanted to, but they were just too little. They couldn't even see over the fucking table.
I mean, they would throw balls and try. Like, in between sets. Tournament style. Having the bracket. Like, it was just so much fun. And that's why I did that. Because this time of year is depressing. For someone who doesn't have relatives to celebrate with. For, there was a lot of already seasonal depression for a myriad of reasons anyway. And that's why I wanted to do that. Yeah, it was my holiday because it's my favorite holiday. Or was my favorite holiday. But all I wanted to do was for everyone to have fun. And to enjoy themselves. And to not feel alone.
And in those moments, none of us did. Like, all the bullshit that we had been through, it didn't matter that day. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why I loved it
just was
so
what
much.
It was.
That's why I loved it so much.
And then there were times that the drinking went a little too heavy and things would turn a little bit, but...
Hence why we
were all guilty of it.
Yes. And that's why all future things from us will be alcohol free, because what's the point? Like, I know that, yes, I can go into places that have alcohol and I can choose not to drink. But if I'm hosting an event, it's not BYOB. It's not, we're providing alcohol. It's alcohol free, because not only for myself and for you, in the future, I don't know who's going to want to try to live a sober life. Not because they had a problem with it, but just because they want to live a sober life. And if somebody did have a problem before and they come into my house, I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to eliminate alcohol from get-togethers, because unless it's a specific thing. Like, I know Kaylee's going to want us to do a shot with her when she turns 21. I know that we're probably going to do a shot with Chris.
Ain't no probably.
Yeah, when he turns 21. But, so I'm not saying that anything...
Not like we haven't had a shot with them before, but...
Fair. And I'm not saying that we'll never have... But I just don't see the point in us having alcohol at certain events. Especially since you and I don't drink. I don't even think we have alcohol in the house anymore. If we do, it's in the freezer in the garage, and that's just because it's been there literally.
The only thing that's left in there is a bottle of absinthe. I just can't bring myself to get rid of it.
Yeah, everything else has been gone. It's been gone for years. So,
I'm always gonna miss Thanksgiving. But I will just have to move on with my life and maybe do something like it again one day. But like you said, it doesn't make any of this shit hurt any less. It doesn't make me feel any less some kind of way. So I am open to suggestions of if you want to try to do something or if you think something might be a good idea. Because for the past 6 months, I've been struggling. I've been on the struggle bus. More recently, like the past month and a half or so, I've been on the struggle bus. Motivation has been all but gone. At work, I'm struggling to stay on top of things. I am, but it seems more mentally taxing than normal. So I have been feeling the effects. That was for other anxiety and issues, and it's kind of just bled together. And then with realizing that I'm struggling so much with even Halloween and I know I'm not the only one. Luckily, since I have gotten so much better than I ever was before about talking about stuff like this, crying openly, and being okay with...
I've been allowing you that space, too, instead of, why the fuck you crying? And it wasn't necessarily, fuck you, why are you crying? It was, fuck, what happened?
Well, that and crying makes you incredibly uncomfortable.
I'm getting used to it.
Yes. And that's helpful. But even growing up, it was, I'll give you a reason to cry about, suck it up, what the fuck are you crying for? You know, shit like that. So I hate crying in general. But now that this has gotten better, since I've gotten better at doing things like that, it is, the depression is just
depressing.
It's not leading into intrusive thoughts. It's not leading into anxiety spirals.
It's more of the melancholy feeling.
It is just the depression.
The anxiety, depression.
Yeah, because
cocktail.
it used to. Yeah, because it used to just start with the depression and then anxiety and then all the intrusive thoughts and self-deprecation and all this shit. And it's just like...
Because it actually seems like your confidence has gotten better recently.
Odd, but yes. And true.
And that's... I was just pointing to that because that kind of lends credence to the change in your mindset. And
yeah.
I don't... What did I bring up yesterday at dinner? I brought up something, and I was like, see, you're not...
Oh, the fact that I couldn't remember what I...
Oh, what bothered you that morning, or whatever it was.
Yeah, something... I have a bad habit of not sticking to routine. I need routine. I need structure. I need that stuff, and I just have a hard time sticking to it. I am probably undiagnosed with some form of...
The alphabet soup.
Yeah. There's A's, D's, H's, aughts, you know, just, I'm probably, there.
No telling.
Yeah. Something was mentioned to my mother in elementary school. I was never tested. I should have been. I'm just saying. So I struggle with those things. And it is very easy when you have the trauma base that I do, plus, you know, not being able to stick to a routine. It was, I didn't do something. And even right now, I cannot think of what that thing was.
That's good.
And in my head, it was... In my head, the first, of course, I still combat with negative self-talk, self-deprecation, things like that. And the thought I had was, and you couldn't even fucking stick to that. Those were the words that I thought. I remember the thought. I don't
remember the words. You don't remember the thought.
I don't remember what it was about, though. Like the thing I haven't stuck to. And I even had to stop myself in that moment and be like, wait, that's not necessary. It's okay if we miss a day in a routine. That's why I struggle with journaling, because it's that I have to do it all every day or else I'm failing at it.
Yeah, but you also get to do it every day. That's how I reframed it for me. Like, I get to write every day because it's something that I love doing. Like, I've always loved writing, however I do it.
I've tried to do that, like with cooking. Ooh, I get to cook my family dinner. Doesn't work.
That's a little different.
And that's how I feel with journaling. If you look at the past 2 entries that I have in there, because it's not consecutive days, by the way. I think I have one on the 20...
Mine's pretty consecutive.
I know.
The dream one is inconsistent, but that's because remembering my dreams is inconsistent.
That's fair. But I think I have one on the 24th and the 20th.
Which I need to do mine for yesterday.
The 24th and the 21st, I think I have, are my last 2 entries. And it was literally, I'm writing, I don't fucking want to write this shit, but I'm going to write something anyway.
Well, maybe you shouldn't look at it as it needs to be a daily thing. Maybe it's just a when you need it thing for you. For me, I enjoy doing it every day.
I struggle with wanting to do things like that, but I need self-care things like that. So I just don't know I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Make it more, I'm having a hard day. Today's the day I'm going to write out my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I just need to find what works for me. Mm-hmm. But in finding what works for me, I'm going to miss days. Or even if this was a regular routine that I followed all the time, I'm going to miss a day. So giving myself grace in those moments is becoming a little easier. And ultimately circling back, that is what you were talking about last night at dinner, in the change of my perception and attitude towards at least myself, that I was able to give myself grace or look at it at a different way.
Then you didn't, like, 'cause before you couldn't, at dinner, you couldn't remember what upset you that morning.
Yeah. And
before you would just ruminate on it, and you'd be able to tell me exactly what it was, no matter when it was.
Yeah.
So I think that's progress. And it's not you blocking shit out or trying to avoid it. It doesn't hold the same gravitas to you, it seems like.
It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. I know that we'll make it through the holidays. We'll make it through this. It's going to be, the next quarter is going to be rough. And I know that.
I'm just glad I'm on a fiscal year for work, so November is...
Oh, nice. It's the avoidant side of me where it's like, I just don't fucking want to deal with this. I don't. Can it just be January 1st? Can I just... And I hate talking like that because I've never seen the movie Click. And I don't want to because I know the premise of it. And I
love Adam Sandler, and I have no desire whatsoever for that.
Yeah. Not saying it's not a great movie. I'm not saying that.
I don't need my fucking heart broken like that. And I know everything that happens in that movie, and it's just like, nope.
Because
not something I want to watch.
Yeah, because I do say things like this, where it's like, fuck, but I don't actually mean it. I am going to endure whatever hardships emotionally come with the next quarter. I don't want to. I
haven't wanted to. I haven't wanted to deal with all this bullshit, but...
I'm going to do it begrudgingly, but I'm going to do it.
Well, see, you're not even doing it begrudgingly anymore, because you're not really bitching about it. You're expressing the shit in a productive way. Before, it would just be everything ruined your day. And
Fair.
now it doesn't seem like it's exactly doing that. You're not being as reclusive. You're not shutting into yourself as much. So I think that's progress made. Personally.
That's fair. And thank you for that perspective, because that's...
And I try to tell you that all the time.
Yes, you do.
And there are some times where I can see it, but those are usually the moments whenever I'm like, hey, let's go get out of the house. Let's go do this, whatever. Just because I don't know that that's what it is, but what's it going to hurt if I'm wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you're extra happy. Like, so the fuck what?
And I know that these aren't the last tears I'm going to shed for 2024. I know that there's, I'm going to get irritated. I'm going to get pissed off. I'm going to get sad. I'm going to get, and I'm not going to say that the next quarter is just going to be dog shit. I'm going to smile. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to love my life, because ultimately throughout the hardships, I do love my life. No matter how much pain, no matter who comes in or out of my life. And this hasn't always been my policy. I've always
survived it all.
Yeah. And I'm going to survive whatever else comes up. I know that I have you, and even if you were to wake up tomorrow, and I know I don't want to plant seeds, or that's not what this is. It is just...
You're being a realist like I was initially.
Yeah.
That you fucking hated, by the way.
I did, because I was, that's how deep-seated that abandonment was.
Yeah. No, I get that now, which is stupid because I had abandonment issues too. So you would think I would have understood it to begin with, but
you would think. But
I just like being more of a pragmatist. It's like, I don't know that we're going to end up together forever. That's what fair. I want.
And we have to work at it. And that's our choice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to put in the work. But if you woke, like you were about to say, if you woke up and changed your mind tomorrow, okay. Like, I'm not going to be happy about it. And it's not what I want. But if something else is going to make you happy, I'm not getting in your fucking
I will
life.
pivot and I will move on with my life. If you chose, hey, not even for like someone else, or like, even if you were just like, I just want to be a monk alone in the woods.
That seems way more likely than anything else.
I would send you off with love. Even if it was for someone else, I would send you off with love, because
in that situation, I'd be like,
let's move to the woods.
Exactly. Like, let's go fucking move to the woods and be fucking...
But just, I know it's an outlandish thing to say, but of you cutting all ties out of nowhere and just...
I wouldn't do that, only because, one, I wouldn't want to do that to you. Two, I'm not doing that to the fucking kids.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. But...
Once they're grown, we might disappear for a couple of months at a time. Just be like...
You heard from Mom and Dad? No, they said something about an ayahuasca trip, and so
I think they went down to fucking Brazil.
I don't know. Brazil? Yeah. Oh. Well, I guess I'll message them again. Okay, I guess they'll message us when they get back. Oh. I could see it happening.
I could see us being those parents. We're just like, Mom and Dad are fucking gone again. I'm like, oh, well.
We would at least update them, be like, hey...
Do like a weekly check-in or some shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that sound.
Sorry. I don't know if it picked up on the fucking microphones, though.
It sounded like an interesting car.
That or a fucking hog. There's a...
It didn't sound motorcycle-y to me.
Oh, it did at the end.
It's maybe.
That end part. I don't know... I don't know what's coming, obviously, but we'll make it. We'll make it through. We always have. Everything, I mean, individually and as a couple. Like, anything, the universe is, like, tested us immensely. And...
But that's no different than anybody else.
Well, of course. But it's who survives and who doesn't. Who puts in the work, who doesn't.
Who progresses, who doesn't.
Who progresses, who doesn't. I am incredibly proud of myself for not being who I was last year. For not being who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I am so happy I'm not who I was yesterday. Not saying I was a bad person yesterday. But I can progress. And not saying that I should always strive to some perfection goal. But no, we should always...
Perfection doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that I can always try to be more mindful, more present in my body, more aware of who I am. Because at the end of the day, I can do everything I can as a wife, everything I can as a mom. I have to be better than myself. I have to take care of me. And I sent this to you yesterday. It was someone, and I don't know the dude's name, and he was on the Drew Barrymore show.
Mm-hmm.
He was like,
yesterday.
He was like, what if you were assigned one human to make sure that they survived? Like they
from
ate.
the day you were born.
From the day it was born.
No, from the day you were born is what he said.
Oh yeah, from the day you were born. You had one human that you had, and that's you. That's what you have. You are your own soul. When you close your eyes at night, they're your thoughts you have to deal with. It's your brain. It's your feelings. It's your emotions. It's your well-being that you have to take care of. I have to start doing them. I have done a lot to try to fix my nervous system. Like when I don't understand if people actually believe me to the severity and the lengths of, I was terrified of the person who raised me well after I stopped living with her.
Oh, I know. I saw it. Because I was just like, what the fuck?
I was terrified of a woman.
Because I know what fear looks like. And I was like,
When she called, when she texted, when I was around her.
That's why I told you to stop fucking entertaining it. Because every time she called, you would turn into a different person. And not like you were taking it out on me. It's just your demeanor would change instantly.
I am definitely the dog that cowers. So it's not like I would lash out at you.
No.
It's not like I would lash out at you. I would recluse into myself and you'd be like, where's my
Yeah,
wife?
but see, I fucking hate that.
Yes.
I don't like that. That's not your personality.
No.
Not with me, at least.
No.
You are guarded with some people, rightfully so. Others...
Well, not everybody deserves access to all of me.
Agreed. But you're not like that with me.
No.
And it would hurt my feelings every fucking time. Like, dude, why the fuck are you...
You thought I was running away from you.
Well, not just that. It's like, why would I want my wife to do that? Why would I want to see her do that every time something happens?
Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
I know. But I don't...
And that's why I stood up and called her crazy bitch.
Yes. So, like, fixing my nervous system is a priority. Because I have 30... And I still... No, well, actually, hold on. 35 years is when I went no contact. For good. For the second time. And most likely, and I know never say never, but most likely for the last time, I will not be in contact again. Which is... That is within my comfort zone. I'm very comfortable with that. I don't give a fuck what
you've made peace with it at this point.
Yes. I have mourned the loss of the relationship. I have mourned the loss of my mother because I never had the mother I wanted or needed. Period. So, let's see. 35. I'm 38. There's still slivers every once in a while. So, I would say 36 and a half years of fear. And I don't know if anybody has done research, but 35 years of fear isn't good. I don't know if there are doctors out there, because doctors haven't believed me in the pain I'm in. The muscular pain, the amount of pain my physical body is in because I've had 36 plus years of fear and trauma and stress. And yes, I have normal, everyday, normal life stress, but that's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something else I need to do. Sorry, I just went on a whole little tangent, side quest. But yeah, because I really need to find a doctor who is willing to listen to me, believe me.
Not just dope you up.
Yeah, because I'm not looking for pain medication. I do not want pain medication. I do not take pain medication. Because I used to have a fucking problem with taking, I don't know, cocktails of muscle relaxers and painkillers that, I don't want painkillers. I want to find ways to heal my body, but no one really takes me seriously and they think I'm exaggerating or that can't be in that much pain, which I'm usually the youngest of any friend group, and I am falling apart the fucking fastest, and my body hurts all the time. So, anyway, I don't even remember exactly how I got on that tangent, but I will make it through anything. And I will take care of my human so I can be the best human I can be, so I can help support you, so I can help support the people who choose to be in my life. The people who choose to, and obviously I'm going to do what I do for my children. But outside of you and my children, if you don't show up for me the way I show up for you, if you don't respect my boundaries, if you are doing dumb shit, if you are continuously putting yourself in dumb situations, if you are doing shady shit, I don't have time. I don't have time. My next 40 years, I don't have time. I don't. I spent so much time focusing it solely on everyone else.
Trying to make everybody else happy or live up to some standard or persona.
And you know what? And I'm not necessarily blaming my mother for that. To a point I do, obviously.
Because that was part of it, but you also did that with other people, too.
That, and it is my responsibility for my healing. I did not deserve my trauma or my pain. I don't deserve pain or trauma from people, but it's going to happen. I don't deserve it. Unless I do. If I deserve it, then, that's on me. And I would own up to that. I would hold myself accountable if
that was the situation.
That's the situation. But I don't deserve this shit. Who I am, I don't deserve it, and I'm not going to stand for it. And if that makes me a cunt, that makes me uppity, a bitch, fuck you. I have zero. My jar of fucks is bone dry. Is dry. Super dry. Behold, my field of fucks is barren. Like, I don't have time. I hate to make it sound, I'm not trying to make it sound, well, if you're not for me, you're against me. And
but there is a certain aspect to that. It's just like, I don't have time for people to try to tear down my shit. I've been working to build myself back up my entire life, and anytime motherfuckers come at me sideways, it takes a little bit of that away. And I don't have the wherewithal to deal with that shit anymore.
Especially when it comes to people bringing me back to a place where I feel like throwing hands.
Let's see, luckily I don't get that far anymore. I think that's because I've worked on my anger so much.
Yeah.
Mine's more just, why? Why do you feel the need to lash out at somebody like that?
Yeah.
Somebody that cares about you, yada, yada. Whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
And I start having those conversations in my head with certain people. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I can come to whenever people want answers is, I just want to live my life in peace.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you like this episode or know someone who would, please help us grow the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing.
Keep up with all episodes on Buzzsprout or anywhere else you get your podcasts.